Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here with some mk1. Now, we have two teams here I want to demonstrate. Maybe talk about them more than actually play with them because there's a good amount to talk about. So, the first up will be t1000 with Goro. Then we'll talk Reiko and Stryker. And to be upfront, I have not been a huge fan of t1000, unfortunately. I love the t800 and mk11. That's my main, right? But I don't know why I didn't click with t1000, right? But maybe this team might be enough, right? So let's take a look at this. Well, for starters, we have Goro. We lose a bit of health, right? We do lose some health, so we are just glass cannon, right? But we got mix. So for starters, we have 15% throw. Not bad. We have, of course, the command grab string. So we got the grapples, right? We got some grappling things. It's very nice. But here's the kicker. The reason why I looked at this team in the first place was one, Goro's low scoop grab extender thing should be applicable, right? Because t1000 has some lows in his strings and mix-ups and stuff, so it might help, right? Especially if it's so that might be a thing. The other thing I thought of was the raise the roof, allowing for block strings, where you may not be able to get block strings, right? So let's just have Reptile do a reversal of his armor. So if we do it right, yeah, okay. So if we do it just right, so if you get it just right, you can frame trap with Goro so that you have enough time to do the armor command grab state and react to them reversaling or poking. And the funny part is, you only need half a cameo gauge, like Motaro, to get a follow-up off the command grab. I can't get it right now. Hold on one second. Come on, I did this earlier. Come on now. Anyway, get the idea. You can do forward 2 into whatever, right? So not only do you get pressure sequences into mix-ups, you also get command grab combos. You also get sequences like this, right? Let's see. Let's have him stop doing his reversal. Let's have him just auto block. Right, just a really simple reset of your already pre-existing tools, but the raise the roof makes that gunshot more plus. That's one of the things that irritates me, honestly, is the gunshots are only like +6, so the only thing you get is a down 1, which in itself, not the worst thing, right? But yeah, you can get a bit more of a mix-up. The other thing as well is you can make your overhead fully safe. You get a little bit of damage off the overhead that's now safe or hard to punish at least. You also get the overhead hammer. That becomes more combos, right? So you get some damage off the overhead hammer, which again is plus on block, or plus on block if you over enhance it. Like there's mix-ups here, there's pressure here. The one thing that's a little bit tricky, at least for me, to implement is the spikes, right? The Damek 3. Because you can do this into a block string, which is cool, and then from there you can do stuff. Right, you can do this is just a really basic combo, right? But you can theoretically keep it safe or hard to punish. The other thing that's pretty cool as well is if you want to spend the resources, you can do stuff like this. You can do 3-2 into the enhanced puddle, which is a low, which which if you get it just right, yeah, if you get it just right, you should be able to be safe or even full combos, right? Depending on the distance and what you decide to do with your resources. And the other thing as well is you can actually get, again, true sequences of, decent pressure. So let's just have him do all. From there you're, getting mix, right? Your forward 2 or command grab or forward 1-4. Your forward 1 command grab, forward 1-3, sorry. This turns into a full combo. Come on now. There you go. If you get just right, it's about 30%, right? It's pretty nice. You can do it off the scoop, but it's a bit trickier to time. You can get it. Oop. Trying to think what else. I think you can even gunshot. So the other thing is that you can do again is you can get some pressure sequences if you are willing to spend the resources. And if you get it just right, and then from there you're like plus or whatever, you can start pressuring, do whatever. Of course it does some chip, does some damage, it's cool. So essentially what this does is it lets you get your combos. Basic combo like that, of course. Your combos off your low spikes. Come on now. Come on. Okay, sorry. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that I feel like this team has potential, especially because you have combos off the overhead hammer, combos off the spikes, combos off the command grab, combos off the regular grab, if you want to do that. Right, just, simple stuff. So you get combos off all your mix-ups, and if you guess wrong and you space it just right, you're still safe, right? The mix-ups are safe, or hard to punish, or a true block string, right? So if I set Reptile to do his reversal, so if I do it just right, if you get it just right, it'll break armor. And if you get it and it's like a full plus on block sequence into space trap setup crap, right? So I don't know. I feel like this team has some potential. Of course, it's gonna be hard. You have low health, glass cannon type situation. However, it does look good. Now, let's move on to the next team, and we'll do Reiko with Stryker. And this team is pretty stupid. All right, we're back here with Mr. Grappler Man himself, right? So Reiko Stryker is a team I've always seen as good ever since the machine gun came into the game, but it got way better with him getting buffed. So, for starters, just obviously speaking, big boy command grab combos. If you get it just right, boom. Right, just a very basic meterless route right there. In fact, what does that do? Let's see. This should do like... Okay, so that does 36% meterless for a command grab. That is just silliness. I didn't know it did that much for a command grab with no resources. I think that's about the same as that might be. I don't know if that's the most, but that is kind of stupid damage. So that's the regular raw command grab. Of course, you enhance it for a bit more damage. You get more things. All right, you get a bit more damage. I think you're hitting like 44%. Let's try and math it out here. Okay, no, you're getting 46% for 2 bars and no gauge. That's an unblockable and almost 50%, of course. Yeah, that's totally normal, right? But what's even crazier is if you decide to use the running grab. If I can get it. Which I believe it, does 34 or whatever by itself. But if you get it just right... Come on now. If you get just right... Boom, if you get it right, you'll spend 2 special bars and then machine gun, and you'll get 50, just a flat 50 off a basic confirmed sand 3, sand 2 on whatever. This also includes the fact that your slide now becomes a safe launcher, because slide gets full combos. If you get it right, you'll get links into jump combos. Yeah, there you go. So if you get it just right, you get the jump combo links into air grabs, which, again, air grab is the best way to end combos with Reiko at this point. And of course, you get armor combos, so if I get it just right... Right, it's not a lot of damage, but it is, a conversion, technically speaking. Yeah, it doesn't even do, like, that much damage, but it is technically a combo. Oh my lord. Hello scaling, yeah, that's not even worth it, honestly. Jeez, I thought it was more of that. So the other thing that's kind of stupid is you can do stuff like this. So you can do down 4 stars, right? Let's just do down 4 stars, machine gun, stars, right? You just jail pressure into chip. And the other thing as well, if you get it just right, that's like a potential combo. So let's just turn the auto block off. Right, actually, just the flat like damage right there off an overhead. You think you can do the same thing off the sweep. Like getting a pickup off that looks difficult because the machine gun just take just the animations, but it's kind of silly. The fact you can just do like down 4 EX stars, and then from there you can do whatever, right? But again, the big thing that you're getting is you also get safety. So, or you also get safety because your grenades. For that's just a legit, just safe launcher, right? But depending on the spacing, of course, of the grenades. But also you get, star confirms, which I think are pretty cool when they do happen. I'm gonna put the auto back on just to be correct here. Good. As far as like uppercut combos, I don't think that really works because the... Okay, so the other thing that you do technically get, besides the grenades and machine gun, which are the biggest things for Reiko, honestly, you also technically get a reset, right? You also get a reset combo here, which, not the best range, right? But you can always, you know, I think you do Sandwood handcuffs, it's like better range. No, it's not. What about forward one to it? Let's see. Oh yeah, that's like way closer. What about dash into forward? Oh, there we go. That's the best way to do it then. You do micro dash stand 3. And then you're like in pressure range, right? And from here, of course, you know, that turns into whatever damage or like pressure you can think of for overhead low shenanigans. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, 25%, cool. Okay, that does not do 25, okay. That does a lot of chip. Yeah, it does so much chip. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Sorry, but the point is, so you get the unblockable combos, the armored launcher, right? So and then of course the machine guns can help with the combo follow-ups if you want to use them. Again, timing's a bit tight just because of the way things work. So the only moves that Reiko doesn't really need are the overhead and low, right? He gets enough, knockdown pressure. Like maybe like it sets up like cross-ups. Like maybe it's stuff like that, right? It's like you cross up into the Arab. So the thing that you can do technically is run cancel your combos if you'd like to do that. Not effective crazily well, but they can theoretically work. So it is definitely a strong team. It is vastly easier to use than Tremor by a long shot. Arguably better damage depending on the routes you do and stuff like that. But yeah, dude, I honestly think Reiko with Stryker might be his best or second best. I honestly think Stryker is on par with Tremor as far as Reiko is specifically concerned and what Reiko wants out of a cameo. As far as like other characters with Stryker from my character routes, or I think Ghostface Stryker is the only one that is really worth running. But if you guys enjoyed, I'm planning on trying to get some footage of maybe t1000 Goro, maybe later on tonight. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.